Alright, so another great month of reading. This is my August reading wrap-up. I started the month with The Husband's Secret, which is the predecessor to Big Little Lies, which is a book that I absolutely love. So you can see a lot of common elements that Leanne Moriarty perfects in her next book. We have the outwardly perfect, affluent suburban housewife, the new-to-town, newly single parent of a young child, and the bright, cheery Australian suburban neighborhood of Tupperware parties and activities that revolve around the primary school that hides a deeper, darker secret. In this case, a wife up in the dusty attic finds a long-forgotten envelope with her husband's handwriting to be opened in the event of my death. Dun dun dun. 4 stars. The Fisherman. This made the Booker long list and is a stunning debut for a 20-something Nigerian author, Chigozie Obioma. Here we have 4 brothers returning from a fishing trip where they run into the village madman that some have purported to have the gift of prophecy. He points to the eldest brother Ikenna and says he will die at the hands of a fisherman. Ikenna is positive this means one of his brothers, and he spirals into paranoia. This sets off a chain of events that go on to devastate this family. It's a sometimes grim read, but still pretty good. 4 stars. Next up is The Girl with All the Gifts, which I clearly loved. You can check out the video review I did earlier. Or not. I'm not the boss of you. After researching Ophiocordyceps and its use as an end-of-the-world trope, I've decided, at the recommendation of fellow booktuber Rachel Hobson, to actually finish the video game The Last of Us. I suspect my reading time in September is going to take a tragic downturn. Next up, Snow Hunters by Paul Yoon, and kudos to our local library. I've been meaning to get a couple more Korean-American authors, and I've been scouring the local bookstore as well as the large chapters here and in the adjoining city to no luck. And the library had everything that I was looking for. Now, I know I could have bought it as an ebook, but I've been doing a lot of reading outside, and basically reading on an iPad outside is ass. This is a small story of Johan, a North Korean prisoner of war, who on release goes to Brazil to apprentice with a Japanese tailor. It's a very quiet story. Johan doesn't say more than just a handful of words the entire time. It's very delicately put together, a story of outsiders. Anyway, it was a very quick and short read. Not too bad, but 3 stars. Next up is Forgotten Country by Catherine Chung. So I'm always trolling for cultural signifiers in my books. It's the literary equivalent of yellow fever. I'm really looking for that shared experience of growing up second generation. On the surface, it's a melancholy story of 2 sisters coming together when they learn that their father is dying of cancer, and he expresses a wish to return to Korea to spend the last remaining days. But it's those small moments throughout the book that ring familiar, the idea of apple peels and persimmons in Korea and twin clothing and the quote-unquote death of an aunt that hides a bigger secret. And as such, I really enjoyed this book. 4 stars. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. The book felt overwrought and overly manipulative. It felt like it was stamped out of a YA factory. And I understand that it creates this great space to talk about depression and suicide. Jennifer Niven has an appendices with lots of resources for kids battling these issues, which I appreciated. And yet, it was all too much. The emotions were all so overblown, and I guess that can be appreciated, certainly as a teenager. I certainly didn't appreciate how clueless every single parent in this book was. It's like they were clueless to the point of negligence. They might as well have been sort of the Peanuts parents that you see so off on the periphery. The Man from Primrose Lane. You can check out the video review. Clearly, I love this book as well. And after doing some research, realizing how involved in the meta-narrative the author was, I decided to actually reach out and write to him. And surprise, surprise, he actually wrote back. And this is weird. This is almost like the first time that you run into your high school teacher at the grocery store. I mean, of course, intellectually, you know they go out and buy groceries, that they're just people, but it's still kind of bizarre. There was a lot of epistolary fanboying. But I did learn, in fact, that he has a new book coming out in November called The Great Forgetting, which is his love letter to conspiracies with a great twist. He's also working on a sequel to The Man from Primrose Lane called Copperhead Island, due out in 2016. In any case, I'm on board. I'm excited. Thanks, James Renner, for responding to my email. And Bourbon Kings by J.R. Ward. If I'm going to be honest, I thought I was getting sent The Bourbon Empire, which is a nonfiction retelling of the history of bourbon in North America. Bourbon Kings is a romance novel set in the South. It's basically Dallas swapping bourbon for oil. I've never really read romance, and read harder, right? So maybe this wasn't the right romance to start off with. I was surprised by the lack of sexy time in the entire book, and instead all these plot lines being juggled. Basically, rich people are lascivious and immoral, Love is the same as hate. The servants or the poor people have this bright inner beauty from this honest work that they perform, and there's even a magical Negro that raised these rich kids as if they were her own. Ugh. Now, much like your daytime soap operas, the story doesn't get resolved so much as end halfway through. All the plot lines are left dangling, and you're left waiting till the next issue. 3 stars. And that's it. I hope you had a great month of reading in August. We'll see you again next week.